shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is,
how good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is to be together on this day.
How good it is,
how good it is,
how sweet it is,
how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good and how wonderful it is for all of us to be here together celebrating Shabbat. Shabbat in our Jewish tradition is an invitation to take time out of our week, to take a parenthetical pause to our week and to let the outside world be the outside world, and to give ourselves a gift of a taste of an oasis of the right now, of the right here, of a mindful presence of the gifts that are just present before us right here. And so I want to invite you to do something sort of radical these days, and that is to turn off your cell phones and let the outside world be the outside world, to put it on Shabbat mode, which looks a lot like an airplane. They borrowed it from us. And just to give yourself a gift of being here in this space. Underneath your seats, there is a blue prayer book, and you can absolutely grab that if it's available. And I think some of the front row the prayer books are right over there. They got moved for confirmation. But otherwise, we also have everything on the screen. And every once in a while, people have found themselves lost in a Jewish service. That's okay. So there's two ways that will help you out. One is if you look on the screen, you will see that on the lower right-hand side of the screen, there is a page number. And if you ever find yourself lost and you're sort of wondering exactly where we are, go ahead and look at the page number on the screen, and you will see and you can follow along in the book. The second way is that usually in our Jewish tradition, when we finish one of the prayers on one side of the page, we'll then turn the page to the next prayer. And so if you find yourself that you don't exactly know exactly where we are, chances are if you turn the page, that will be a good indication of exactly where we are. It's an old Jewish trick, turning the page. We take an opportunity also every Shabbat to just sort of welcome one another into this space and place. And the first is that we recognize on this Shabbat that there are people who are watching our Shabbat services who are at home and who are streaming or who are in hospital rooms. And so we have cameras in the back. I want to invite you to turn to the cameras, and we've already practiced it by said Shabbat Shalom. So turn to the cameras and say a big Shabbat Shalom to the people who are watching at home. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That was very good. Even more practice, because now I would like you to turn to the north, the south, the east, the west, in every single direction, and to say Shabbat Shalom to the people who are all around you.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Does my mic sound like really hot?
Is it?
It feels like it's hot. Our worship service is going to continue with a prayer that's on page 196. And the prayer is a prayer that's called Elohai Neshama. And the prayer speaks of the gift of our souls. A recognition that maybe this has happened to you, that you woke up in the morning and you took a deep breath and you realized how good it is that you are alive, that you are here, and you're able to make it in the world today. And so we give thanks for our souls and for our bodies. with these words of Elohai Neshama.
Elohai,
Elohai Neshama.
Elohai,
Elohai Neshama.
Shenatai Tabi, Tehorahi, Tehorahi, Ata, Verata, Ata, Yetarta, Ata, Nefakta, Nefaktari, Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenata Tabi, Tehorahi, Tehorahi, Ve'ata, Meshamra, Ve'ata, Meshamra, Ve'ata, Meshamra, Meshamra, Bikirbi, Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenata Tabi, Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Yellow lie, lie, lie. 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 Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Yelai, lai, lai. 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 Yelai, lai, lai.
Wisdom, wonder, passion, and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives us. And the more we devote our lives to it, the more it grows and gives.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
At Temple Bethel, all B'nai Mitzvah students are asked to write a speech on a prayer that means somebody to hear them. And I chose Ve'ahavta, which means, and you shall love. This prayer talks about the commandment to love the Lord and speak to loving thy neighbor. The phrase that stood out to me the most was to impress them upon your children with all your soul and might. This means to me that it is important to teach the blessings of God to the children so that the world could be a better place in the future, and so the future does not have as much hate. When I was in the process of writing the speech, my friend Barry came to mind. I feel that Barry lives this prayer in his daily life. Barry shares his love for God with others as well as his love for people in general. He understands the importance of helping others. Barry has been a role model to me, myself, and my brother. He volunteers with many organizations in the community. I feel the world would be a better place if there were way more Barrys in the world. An example of how I lived this prayer and helped my neighbors is from my Mitzvah project. I reached out to families and friends in the community and collected food donations for a food drive for the Jewish Family Services. We were able to help others in our community that may not be able to provide for themselves or their families. We each have the power to make a difference, and I challenge each of you to look within to see how we can live this prayer within your own lives. Shabbat Shalom.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am b'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shochmecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam le'yot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha Leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'etem kedoshim le'elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
You have stayed long enough in this place, God said. Time to go forward. Turn your face to a future. Believe that you can cross the sea and survive. Inside you is a Moses. Within you Miriam dances, unafraid. Lift up your voice and sing a new song.
Yai lai lai, yai la 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 la, yai lai lai la 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 la, yai lai la lai la 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 la, yai la lai lai la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ne'etzah b'kodesh, nor tehilot tosefele. Tehilot tosefele.
Shira chadasha shibchu ge'ulim, v'shimcha sfatayam, yachad kulam hodu, ve'imlichu ve'amru.
Adonai Elof le'olam va'ad, Adonai Elof
Tzor Yisrael, Kuma Bezrat Yisrael, Uvdechinu Mecha, Yehuda veYisrael, Go Aleinu Adonai Tevaot Shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Tita, Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha, Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gulav and Lebnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ava, Melech Hoter Moshiach Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav Le'Yoshia, Morid Hatah, Mechalkel Hayim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Matir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Vishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Baal Keburot, Umido Melach, Melech Mimit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiya Yeshua, V'man Hatach Chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Nekadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmi marom, Katuv al yad neviyecha, V'karav zel ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech kol haaretz, Kevodo, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Adir, Shimcha b'kol haaretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai, Mimkamo, Echad hu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, V'hu Yashmienu, V'rachavav Leinei Kol Chai, Ani Adonai Eloheihem, Yimloch Adonai Leolam, Elohai Yitzion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah. Ledor Vador Nagid Golecha, Unetzach Netzachim Kedushacha Nagdish, V'shivchacha Eloheinu Mipinu Lo Yamush Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Mekadashei Mekadashei Shavi Shabbat Kulam Yisbe'u V'yatangu Mivecha Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat V'ashvi'i Ratzita bo B'kirashto Shabbat Chemdat Yamim Oto Kirata Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Zecher L'maaseh V'reshit Shabbat Zecher L'maaseh V'reshit Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha Shomrei 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 Shabbat V'korei Oneg Shabbat Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
We now take time for silent prayer.
Say shalom, b'momav. Oh, say shalom, b'momav. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh hu yaseh shalom, hu yaseh, hu yaseh, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. B'roma. Oh, say shalom. B'roma.
We come now to Seder Kriyat Torah, the Shabbat, the service for the reading of the Torah on Shabbat. The Torah, our tradition tells us, was a gift that was given to us thousands of years ago. It was a gift that taught us the values and the lessons of life, the values and lessons of our community. And we were taught to learn from its teachings and then to walk in the world with the light of its values. And every Shabbat morning, we have that opportunity. We have an opportunity to take the Torah from our ark, to place it into the arms of our young people by passing it ledor v'dor from generation to generation into their arms. To invite them to walk with the Torah in their lives around the congregation, and then to teach us from its light. So in order to help us do that this day, there are a lot of people that I need to invite up. First and foremost, I'm going to invite, of course, Nathan and Aiden to please go down onto the floor. To open the ark, I'm going to invite Mike Schoen and Jeff Reichek, if you'll come forward, and Nora Minchew to undress the Torah, if you will come up behind me. All right, to stand next to Nathan, I'm going to invite, of course, Matt and Summer, and Joe Minchew and Ed Minchew and Jenny Duran and Stuart Allison and Steve Allison and Sue Allison. If you will all come forward and come stand in a big line like that, perfect, that's great. And then to stand next to Aiden, Lisa, and Harriet, of course, I'm going to invite you up. Harold Herlick and Iris Yanow and Harriet Bensman, and Sharon and Barry Burke. We want to acknowledge online today that Joyce Burke is joining us and would be standing up here and is standing up here in spirit. And Jackson Sherrill. Jackson, of course, you are up. Sorry I didn't invite you earlier. Come second next to your grandmother. Perfect. Now we're dismissing all of you. I'm going to invite you to please rise. Hi, guys.
Udvar Adonai mirushalayim ki mitzion tetzei Torah Udvar Adonai mirushalayim Baruch Shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael Baruch Shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato.
Nathan, Aiden, if you will take one step forward. Great. Aiden, you're going to turn to your right. Nathan, you're going to turn to your left. Awesome. It is not every day that the generations of your family are standing before you exactly like this. So I want you to take a look at your family members. And I know, Nathan, that might mean, and Aiden, that might mean you have to look them in their face. You might have to actually even take a couple steps this way. It's okay, Nathan. It's all right. Make sure that you see your family members and that you remember this moment. A moment where your family stood before you, representing the generations of your family that go all the way back to Mount Sinai. Where your family stood before you, so proud of not only who you are and who you are becoming, but proud of our Judaism and the ways in which we pass this Torah, its teachings to you, for you to hold and for you to walk with in your life. So I invite you to stand back with your parents as Cantor and I pass the Torah from generation to generation into your arms.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Remember Adonai, you can go back to your seats. Shachavu lehar kodsho. Remember Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu remember. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho.
This week, we read Parashat Kedoshim, a portion that challenges us to consider what it means to be holy. Holiness is often associated with spirituality and prayer. But this Torah portion teaches us that true holiness extends beyond our relationship with God and into our interactions with the world around us. In Parashat Kedoshim, God commands us, "You shall be holy, for I, the Lord, your God, am holy." This commandment might seem daunting at first. How can we, as mere humans, aspire to the holiness of God? The answer lies in the verses that follow. God doesn't ask us to achieve holiness through concert, prayer, or ritual alone. Instead, we are called to be holy in our everyday actions and relationships. We are instructed to honor our parents, observe the Sabbath, preserve our traditions, leave some harvest for the poor, and ensure that those around us are cared for. The teaching of Pirkei Avot, "If I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when?" shows the balance we must strike to lead a holy life. It is essential to take care of ourselves, ensuring our health, well-being, and availability for our families. However, focusing only on ourselves misses the message of holiness. God calls us to be holy, calls us to be present for others, to extend our care beyond our immediate circle, to our communities, and even to strangers in need. Recently, I encountered a homeless person in Charlotte on a cold and rainy day. It was sad to see that few people stopped to help. This experience made me reflect on our society's values. Despite all that we have, many people suffer. While we cannot solve every problem, we are challenged by God to remember that our holiness is tied to how we assist those in dire need. Parashat Kedoshim teaches us that holiness is not just about our relationship with God, it is about how we interact with the world. By caring for others and extending that care to others, we walk the path of holiness. Let us strive to be the light in the lives of those around us, listening to the divine call to be holy, just as God is holy. Shabbat Shalom.
For the first Aliyah, I'd like to invite forward Michelle Bale, Ethan Bale, Adam Bale, Robin Poe, Eric Poe, Sonia Atkins, and Lucas Atkins. You guys are standing way too far away. Come on up. I know that Lucas is the ringer here, but we need you all up here on the count of 3. Echad, shtayim, shalosh. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Amen.
Vayidaber Adonai al Moshe lemor, Daber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael, ve'amarta alehem kedoshim tiyu, ki kadosh ani Adonai Eloheihem. Ish imo ve'aviv tirayu ve'et shabbatotai tishmaru Ani Adonai Elohim.
Amen. Everyone say Yesher? Say Koach? Put together, say Yesher Koach? We say Yesher Koach, we say keep up the strength, or in Charlotte we say keep pounding. Exactly. For all the ways that you have honored the Torah, for all the ways that you have honored Shabbat, and for the ways in which you have been amazing family members to Aiden and to the Sherrills, and to the ways in which you have maybe even helped to tutor them. We give our thanks and gratitude, and we know that Aiden is ready to give you a big hug as you go stand next to Cantor. Let's stand on the other side. It's my honor and pleasure for the second Aliyah to invite forward Harriet Herlick, Jackson Sherrill, and Lisa Sherrill. Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu v'yikoamim, v'tam lanu et Torah. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Al tifnu el ha'elim v'Elohei masecha lo ta'asu lachem. Ani Adonai Elohim. Vechi tizbechu zeva shalamim l'Adonai liutzoniahem tizbechu beyam zivchachem yeachel u'imochorat v'hanotar ad yom hashlishi ba'esi sarvif.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah v'chayim olam v'chayim. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. We say Yesher Koach for keeping up the strength, Harriet, and for raising generations in our congregation, for the ways that you have honored Shabbat, and for honoring Aiden and have brought such joy to our community. Go give him a big hug. I will. All right. That was the most brotherly hug I think I've seen in a while. That was pretty brotherly right there. All right.
Ya'amod, 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 Shai el Rachamim ben Rivka Aviva bar HaMitzvah.
Baruch et Adonai Habarach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ve'im he'achol ye'achel bayom hashlishi pigulhu lo yiratzeh ve'yochlav ovono yisa ki etz kodesh Adonai chilel ונכרתה הנפש ההיא מימיך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם אתה בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. And we say aloud, Yasher Koach, for honoring Shabbat and for honoring the Torah and for teaching us a valuable lesson about Kiddushim, about holiness. Aiden, Yasher Koach. I know that your mom and your brother and your grandmother are over there, and they want to give you another hug. You can't just get away with one today. So go give them a big hug, okay?
Shabbat Shalom. This morning I will be chanting from Parshat Kedoshim. This portion teaches us about being good citizens and showing kindness to others, lessons I've put into practice through my work with Shalom Green at the Shalom Park Community Garden. My Torah portion emphasizes the importance of treating everyone with respect and kindness. It specifically mentions not belittling the disabled, saying, "You shall not insult the deaf or place a stumbling block before the blind." This teaches us to be mindful and caring towards those who are differently abled. Another key lesson is about generosity. The portion instructs us, "You shall not pick your vineyard bare or gather the fallen fruit of your vineyard. You shall leave them for the poor and the stranger." This means we should share our resources with those in need, a principle I've embraced through my volunteer work at the community garden. Volunteering at Shalom Green has allowed me to live out these teachings. By helping to grow and donate fresh produce to the Jewish Family Services Food Pantry, I'm contributing to the well-being of our community and ensuring that those in need have access to healthy food. This work is a practical application of the values in my Torah portion, showing that holiness is not just about our relationship with God, but also about how we treat others and our planet. One day at Shalom Green, I realized that there are families right here who may need food. The fresh produce could mean so much to them as they may not be able to afford it otherwise. Knowing that I played a part in providing that food was a humbling and fulfilling experience. It made me realize the direct impact of my actions on the lives of others. The teachings of my Torah portion align with the Jewish values of Tikkun Olam and Gimilut Chasadim. By caring for the earth and sharing its bounty with those in need, we're not only fulfilling our responsibilities as Jews, but also making the world a better place for everyone. I encourage each of you to find a way to give back to our community, whether it's volunteering at a local food pantry, helping a neighbor in need, or simply being kind to someone who's different from you. Every act of kindness counts. Parshat Kedoshim has taught me valuable skills about kindness, generosity, and being a good community member. By working at Shalom Green, I'm able to put these lessons into action and make a positive impact. Let's all strive to incorporate these teachings into our lives, creating a more caring and just world. Shabbat Shalom.
For the fourth Aliyah, I'd like to invite forward, helpful when the microphone is on, Joe Minchew and Ed Minchew, and Sue and Steve Allison, if you'll come forward.
Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. You have enlightened this path with the wisdom of Torah, giving it to the Jewish people as their particular way. Blessed are you, merciful one, who gives this Torah to the Jewish people.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamavorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamavorach. Whoops. Le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah. Amen.
Uvkutrechem et ketzir artechem lo techale pe'at sadcha liksor veleket ketzircha lo tilaket vecharmecha lo teoleo uferet karmecha lo tilaket leani Vilager ta'azov otam ani Adonai lochechem lo tignovu velo techashashu velo teshakeru ishbar mito.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah kemet v'chaye olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Holy One of blessing, your presence fills creation. This Torah is a teaching of truth, whole and balanced, and from it comes eternal life for the people who embrace it. Blessed are you, merciful one, who gives this Torah to the Jewish people.
And we say Yasher Koach. So keep up the strength, and thank you for honoring Shabbat and Torah today with this Aliyah. And we, of course, give Nathan a big hug as you come by and stand next to Cantor. For the fifth Aliyah, I invite forward your parents, Summer and Matt. Nora, do you want to accompany? Come on up. Doesn't count as an Aliyah, but you're accompanying your parents.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Velov tishavu vishmi la shaker vechilotav et shem Elohecha ani Adonai lo ta'asok et reacha velo tigzol lo tali peulat sadchir ita ad boker.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah v'chaye olam mitah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. All right. We say Yasher Koach. For honoring Torah and honoring Shabbat. Way to go. For being an awesome little sister. Come give Nathan a big hug. Come on up. Thank you guys for kissing me. Thank you. Go stand next to the cantor. We have the most brotherly hug, and I think we have the most sisterly hug right there, all in one.
Ya'amod, 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 Eitan Shai ben Nachum Aryeh, ve'ad v'chaya bar ha-mitzvah.
Baruch hu Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Lo tekalel heresh v'lifnei iver lo titein mikshol ve'arei tameh Elohecha ani Adonai. Lo ta'asu avel b'mishpat lo tisaf nedal Velo tedar penei gadol betzedek tishpot amitecha. Lo telech rachil be'amecha lo ta'amod al dam re'echa ani Adonai. Lo tisna et achicha bilvavecha hocheach tochiach et amitecha Velo tisa alav chet. Baruch atah Adonai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. And we say aloud, Yesher Koach, for honoring Torah and honoring Shabbat, and for all the ways that you taught us about also Kiddushim, about how to be holy. Way to go. I know that your mom and your dad and your sister are over there waiting for another hug. So do you want to go for it? As we have the Torah out in our congregation, we take a moment each and every Shabbat to say a prayer for the people of Israel. And I want to invite you to recite the prayer with me, which is on the screen. Mikor HaChaim, source of life. Makor Shel Tikvah, source of hope. We gather together with faith and hope to pray for peace and for the safety of the people of Israel. Protect us in our time of need. Soften our hearts against indifference. And open our eyes to the humanity in all. Guide our thoughts towards compassion. Bring healing to the wounded, strength to the mourners, courage to those facing adversity, wisdom to the leaders, and ensure the safe return of those unjustly held. Fill the world with your light, O God, and spread over us the shelter of your peace. Together we say, Amen. We also take a moment to think of those in our community who are in need of healing with the words of the Mishaberach. And Nathan has an introduction to this prayer as well, so we're going to hear that before we get names.
Prayer that I chose, Mishaberach, is a prayer about asking God to heal those in need of healing. Some words that stuck out to me were Mishaberach Avotenu. These words have valuable meaning to me because it means that God has blessed or healed the ones before us, which to me means my parents and ancestors. When I was studying for my bar mitzvah, my grandmother was going through surgery on her heart, and she needed healing. I would think of her when I said this prayer so it could help her to be healed and be all right. Some other words that are important to me are refuah shalema, which means complete healing or wholeness. Shalema, wholeness, comes from the same root as shalom, which means peace. Which means we pray for healing. It is not just physical. Healing can also mean healing the mind, instilling a feeling of peace and contentment.
We talk about refuat haguf and refuat nefesh and refuat shlema, a healing of the body, healing of the soul, and a complete healing. And as we have placed the names of those in our congregation who are in need of healing, I want to invite each one of you to think about people that you're thinking about. Just as Nathan was thinking about someone in his family who needed healing, we think of people as well. And we recognize that our prayers aren't just about praying for God to create a complete healing for the people that we love, but the prayers themselves are also a reminder to us to bring a meal and to make a phone call or to send a text message, to do the work that helps to make healing possible within families and within community. And so as my eyes go around the congregation, I invite you to say either out loud or even silently in your heart the name of someone that you're thinking about on this Shabbat. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh Cholim. Blessed are you, O God, who supports and comforts those who are in need.
Mishebeirach Avoteinu Mikor HaBeracha Leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebeirach Imoteinu Mekor HaBeracha Lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Invite forward to lift the Torah and to dress the Torah and to hold the Torah. Barry Azarski, if you'll come forward. To dress the Torah, Allison Robertson and David Burke. And to hold the Torah, Mike Schoen, if you'll come forward. And please rise.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל, על פי אדוני ביד משה. לי 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 Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל, על פי Adonai beyad Moshe.
So we come now to the Haftarah. And when I was a kid, when I was a bar mitzvah, I thought that the Haftarah was the half of the Torah. There's no relationship whatsoever. The Haftarah is an additional reading that we read on Shabbat mornings. And where it came from was that there was a period of time when Jews were prohibited from reading the Torah. The Romans and others in other places actually created prohibitions from Jews reading the Torah. And so what our rabbinic sages did is they went to the stories that are found in the books of prophets, and they found ideas that were thematically similar and similar to the stories of each Torah portion. And so in a sort of sense of audacity, and they sort of chose to create readings that were consistent with the values in the Torah portion. In this case, we're reading from the prophet of Amos. And Amos speaks about holiness, about what a community is supposed to do to create a community of justice and holiness as well, just like Parshat Kedoshim. And so for this Torah portion, it's connected very much to the themes of the Torah portion.
Tzedek Bayom Hahu Akim Et Sukkot David Hanufet Vegadarti Et Pirtehen Vaharisotav Akim Uvnitiha Kime Olam Leman Yeshu Et She'eri Tedon V'ho Hagoyim Asher Nikrat Shemi Alehem Ne'um Adonai Osezot.
On that day, I will raise up David's fallen shelter. I will rebuild the breaches in its walls and raise up its ruins, and build it up as in the days of old. They shall possess what is left of Edom and all the nations that were called by my name, says the Eternal One who does this. The time is coming, says the Eternal One, when the one who plows the field will overtake the one who reaps it, and the treader of grapes will overtake the one who sows seeds. When the mountains shall drip sweet wine, and all the hills shall overflow. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, tzor kol ha'olamim, tzadik bechol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'osei, ha'medaber imkayim, shekol devarav, emet v'tzedek. Al haTorah, ve'al havodah, ve'al hanvim, ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu litushav limnucha, lechavod al tifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, umvarchim otach, yitbarach shimcha, befi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. And we say Yeshar Koach. It's my pleasure to invite forward Jeff Herlick and Howard Herlick and Karen Chow, if you will come forward to help open the ark. I invite the congregation to please rise as we return the Torah back to the ark.
מאושר, דרכיה דרכי נועם, בכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה, חדיש חדיש ימינו, חדיש ימינו כקדם.
Today, I am grateful for many different people, and I'm also thinking about those people who could not be here. Most importantly, my dad. He would have made the whole congregation laugh out loud, and I miss his sense of humor. I know he is with us today in our hearts and memories. I'm also thinking about my Papa. He would also have asked everyone at dessert who wants coffee. I also want to thank so many people who helped me get here today. My teachers, tutors, Rabbi Knight, Cantor Roskin, and my cousin Lucas, who was my personal tutor and is an all-around awesome role model. Lucas, thank you. Thank you to everyone who could be here today to support me. My aunts, uncles, cousins, you support me, and I know that you are only a phone call or realistically a text away. Thank you for the constant support, Nana. Thank you for always being there to talk with, and for spending time with us. Jackson, you and I have had many bumps in the road, and you've always been there for me. Yes, we can disagree once, twice, 3 times, or 4. Every morning, and deep down, I know you care, and I want you to know I do too. Friendly, Mom. You have been there by my side my entire life. I don't think I can express enough how much I respect you and appreciate the ways you care and love me. These last few years have been really hard for you and for all of us, but you always keep moving forward and helping us each day. Mom, I love you. Please join me on the Bema.
Yeah, tissues would have been helpful.
We have a whole 2 other boxes.
Thank you. Thank you. Plan better.
You should have kept them on you.
What?
Or you should have kept them on you.
All right. First, I'd like to welcome our guests. We're so grateful that you could all be here from near and far to celebrate with us. Congratulations, Nathan and the Minchew family. Nathan, you did a fantastic job. You should be so proud of yourself. Mazel tov. Thank you, Rabbi Knight, Cantor Raskin, Miss Patty, all of Aiden's Hebrew and religious school teachers, Madrakim, and tutors for preparing him for this special day.
I'd like to thank my mom and my sisters for their constant love and support and helping us get to this point. Aiden, sorry. Where has the time gone? 13 years ago, you completed our family. Happy birthday. You've been such a bright light, and I'm so proud to be your mom. I'm so incredibly proud of what you've accomplished here today. It's been another challenging year for our family. But despite that, your dedication to prepare for this day showed in everything that you've done today. Honestly, I think you started preparing way back when you joined Miss Patty and taught Shabbat, or Tefillah with your brother in kindergarten. You'd come home, you'd immediately get your guitar, and you'd start singing all of your prayers. Daddy and I used to call you our little cantor. Daddy's smiling down right now, and he's so incredibly proud of you. I have so many wishes for you as you continue your journey in life. I pray that you will always be happy and healthy and know how much you're loved by everyone around you. You have a tremendous amount of support here, and we'll always be there for you. Whatever you need to celebrate the times of joy and success, or to catch you and support you when you fall. Always remember to be true to who you are, and keep trying new things to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Be kind and compassionate to others, and always treat people with respect. Continue to push yourself academically, even though you claim you don't need to be going to school. Continue to explore your passion and creative side. Be humble and have gratitude for everything you have in this world. As you continue to transition to adulthood, embrace the new responsibilities that come your way. I pray that you continue to show and live the values that you've been taught at home, at school, and in your Jewish studies. You have the foundation, the tools, and the support to make all of your dreams come true. I love you this much and so much more, and I look forward to the future unfolding.
I would like to thank my madrachim, tutors, teachers, and clergy for helping me in getting to this point. I would also like to recognize the hard work that Aiden Sherrill has put into his bar mitzvah and the support of his family. I want to thank my friends and family for being here today. Thank you, Waylon, Chris, Jackson, and Drew, for being so supportive through this process. On my dad's side of the family, to my cousins, Daisy, keep on being perfect. Gabriel, you are one of my best friends, and I appreciate your sense of humor, and I know you're going to go far. Aunt Jenny, you are the coolest aunt. Granny Gramps, you have taught me the importance of family. And Gran, I love your cooking and playing board games with you. On my mom's side of the family, I am thinking of my great-grandmother Gigi Helen Scar, who is no longer with us, but is also in my heart. I know she would be proud of me. Uncle Stu, you are the funnest of all uncles. And I would also like to thank my grandpa and Susie. You are always there for me. Over the years, you have been coming to all my track meets and events, helping me with my homework and taking me out to dinner every Friday. You guys are the greatest. And Susie, thank you for giving the best hugs. Nora, thanks for being a great sister and always having my back. Mom, thank you for being so encouraging to me. You have helped me countless days and in so many ways. I admire that you are a great leader and you are so kind and including of all people. Dad, I like the fact that you are a really good communicator. I enjoyed spending time with you attending services to prepare for today because I like engaging in Judaism with you and going for bagels afterwards. Mom and Dad, please join me on the bima.
Nathan. Today is a day to say the Sheheheyanu. It's one of my favorite prayers. It's a reminder that God has given us life, has sustained us, and has brought us to this special moment. Traditionally, it's a prayer of firsts. It is said to mark joyous occasions, big and small. It's a blessing to be said whenever we realize the miracle of the present. And for each miracle of life, we are called to experience gratitude. Each day of your existence, from your wide-eyed arrival to the days, weeks, and years of experiences that have brought you to this day, you have given me and your dad the greatest joy and happiness. We will be forever grateful that you are ours. And we pray that as you grow into a young adult, that your Jewish faith and the foundation of your family remind you to celebrate the moments that bring you joy, to feel gratitude in the everyday miracles of your life, and the knowledge of your worth and value in this world. Mazel tov. I love you.
Aiden, mazel tov to you and your family and your friends. Your love and your strength are shining through today. Nathan, as you celebrate this milestone today, know that you have achieved something that connects you to the family that came before you, to the Jewish people, and to our community in Charlotte. You carry the history, traditions, and culture of our people with you. Continuing this tradition today connects you to the joys and beauty of our community, as well as our struggle for freedom and justice, our hopes and dreams, our determination to bring about a better future, and our love of life and each other. The sum of all this is something wonderful. It is bigger than you or me or any of us, and it is something which you will always be part of. This morning might seem like just another Saturday morning in some ways, but this moment, and your choice to create it, is something that connects you to thousands of years of Jewish community and to our family. You've taken a significant step in ensuring that our community and our traditions will continue. Enduring and the hard work of a good life are central to who we are and to who you are. It is even central to your name and to the great-grandfather for whom you were named. It was 30 years ago that I stood in this same spot where you now stand for my bar mitzvah. It was in this same spot that your mom and I stood under the chuppah and were married. It was this same tallis that you wear that once sat on your great-grandfather's shoulders and later your mom's shoulders and mine as we were married, and now your shoulders for your bar mitzvah. The symbolism and the reality of this and the power of this moment fills us with joy and pride. You honor our family and our people today. You are on your way to becoming a wonderful man, a wonderful human being. We love you with all we are. Mazel tov, Nathan. Love you.
My turn. Your Torah portion is Parashat Kedoshim. And the word kadosh means something that is holy, something that is sacred. In Judaism, we say that something that is holy and sacred, we sort of set it apart from everything else. Like Shabbat is considered a holy day, so we set it apart from every other day of the week. And when we make something holy, we make it separate and distinct from every other thing around us. So holiness, this idea of Kedoshim, of Kadosh, is something that is supposed to be separate and unique and distinct and different. In fact, in our prayer worship today, when we said Kadosh, 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 we raised and got on our tippy toes 3 times to sort of separate, moving towards the holiness and to the godliness around us, but something that was also separate and distinct and different from the rest of the prayers. So I want to say something about that idea of kedoshim, something that is holy and separate and distinct. Because what the two of you have taught us, in your own unique and exactly Nathan and Aiden ways, is that as much as it is about being holy and separate and distinct, as our Torah and our tradition tells us, kedoshim tehiyu, that you shall be holy, for I am your Lord your God, am holy. That the holiness that God asks us to achieve is actually experienced not in moments of grandeur on top of mountains, but that the holiness that we try to achieve is what we try to achieve in the everyday, in the ways that we interact with the people who are around us. What does it mean to be holy? To be holy is to live as the two of you live, with lots of compassion. To be holy is to have kindness. To be holy is to see the people that you love and to express that love to them. To be holy is to see a world as it is and to recognize it isn't what we want it to be, and to seek ways, whether in the garden or in other ways, to seek ways to make our world better. Holiness, our tradition tells us, is not something that is so separate and distinct and unique and different. Holiness is about what we do in each and every day, in every moment, to live up to our values. Our prayer for you is that you continue to see the holiness in the world. You see the holiness in life. And that you live out that value through the ways in which you interact with the people that are around you. Because when you do that, you will carry forward the light of the Torah. The cantor and I are about to bless you with your parents actually placing their hands upon you with a threefold benediction, which is at the center of the Torah. And I'm going to invite the congregation to please rise, because everyone here has a role in this too. The cantor is going to chant the blessing, and then I will translate, and then each of us will say the words, Ken Yehi Ratzon, after each stanza, after I translate each stanza. So everyone say, Ken Yehi Ratzon. It means, may this be God's will. We'll put it together, say, Ken Yehi Ratzon.